Hi, I'm LP, and you're watching MUZO TV.
Your new album has got many flavors, from ballads to rock songs and, even old school songs. And it sounds like freedom.
It does? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What's an old school song?
Shaken.
Oh, yeah, like an old-timey song. Yeah.
It has got the 70s vibe. I don't know why, but I can hear it.
Oh, really? I felt like it was more 50s, but I don't know.
For me,
Did the 50s hit here in the 70s?
Yes, the time difference. But it's a great song.
Elvis was here in the 70s.
It's a great song, by the way.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
For me, this album sounds like freedom, because I have got an impression that you had the freedom to do whatever you wanted, with no one telling you what to do.
Album sounds unchecked. It sounds like you just went awry, amok. Maybe. Yeah. Okay, cool. So you like it?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
I like it a lot.
Okay, good.
Do you like it?
I love it. I mean, yeah, I love it. I mean, I wouldn't have put it out if I didn't love it. But yeah, I think it's got. I'm not really into writing the same song twice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I don't have to. You know, I think you've got like everybody's got a lot of people have their sound, you know, like, I mean, when I sing a song, like, you know, all the songs have a thing because I'm singing them. So I think that I feel like it's nice to just mix it up, and I'm just inspired by all different things. Like, I never know what's going to come out of my mouth that day when I'm writing. I just go with it.
Okay, because I think that in a place like yours, after the hit single, after that hit record, many people feel the pressure to repeat that success. And what's the easiest way to repeat the success? To do the same thing once again?
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know how to do that. You know, it's like trying to like write a hit every time. It just, I think it gets in the way of what's, what can be even better or different or interesting, you know. I think there may be some pressure, but I don't know. I think this record will be good enough to keep the fans I have and see. I don't know. I hope. We'll see.
Get you new ones.
I hope, I guess. Yeah, like I'm trying, I don't really have expectations. I don't know what's going to happen, and I think I've already got practically another record ready to go, so to me, I just keep writing songs, and I will, and I hope people like them. I try, so I don't think I want to put any pressure on this record and see, and it's not like, oh my god, if you don't like these songs, what am I gonna do? And I'll just write more songs.
So it's not like resting on your laurels, like I've got a hit single, I'm gonna rest, I'm gonna tour for a few months and then rest and think about the future. You're constantly...
You don't rest. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not resting right now.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. I just rested. Okay, I'm good.
Okay, that's great. What do you do not to go crazy?
Nothing. That's why I'm freaking crazy. No, I don't know. Let's see. I do yoga.
Mm-hmm.
I meditate. I read. I just try not to take it too seriously. But I still get in those moods. I mean, I'm not a stuffed animal.
Mm-hmm. Luckily.
Oh, kids. I get moody. Yeah, and then I get annoyed. I drink and do bad things. No. I just I get weird with my friends and or talk it out, and then I move on.
Okay. And what about moving?
Okay.
It sounds so easy.
Isn't it?
Easier said than done.
That's right, kids. It's really easy. Try
it. All right, but what about the songs that you perform on stage? Do you feel the same emotions that drove you to writing those songs when performing it, or is it just a thing that you have to distance yourself from?
I mean, I think I do in the beginning sometimes when I haven't really performed a song yet much. But then I kind of move on. It becomes like a different thing to me. I'm usually I'm in that place. I'm usually in the emotional place, but I don't go specific. And I'm just like kind of there to like be the vehicle to get it to the people, that are at the show. I don't feel compelled to relive it necessarily, but I definitely feel the emotion of it. And then sometimes I do. Like I'll randomly be like, oh shit, this song is about this. Wow. And that's, I mean, that's like nice at times, But then, sometimes I'm like thinking very much about the technical aspect of singing the song to try to like make it as good as the record is for people. So, because I always want to hear, when I see a concert, I always kind of want to hear it just like the record. Like I want to hear the voice like,
Yeah?
yeah.
So
You
you're
don't?
not... Yeah, I
like
want.
what I would be like, is that lost on you? Is it? Seriously, is it? I'm gonna talk to songs today. Sit down, please. I mean, I'm not rigid about it. I just mean that I'm like looking to make it as I don't know. For me, I like to hear it like that, so I just try to. But I'm cool with mistakes.
Mhm.
I've made a lot of mistakes.
And no one
Let's
might
talk
notice.
about it. Let's talk about all the mistakes I've made.
Do you go to many gigs yourself? When not performing, of course, but as a fan or...
Yeah, I do. I do for sure. But I feel like I go to a lot of local people's gigs. My lady likes to go to shows at home, which is kind of, sometimes I'm just like, I just got back from tour. I don't think I can see like 4 bands this week. So I go to see like 2 and then let her go. But I think, I think it's nice to see local bands and stuff like that. But what's the last show I went to? I went to see, the last show I went to was, there's this cool punk band from America right now called Surfboard that I really like. And, but it's, it's fun to see shows when I haven't been touring for a little bit. But, when I, in festivals and stuff, I see so many shows that I get like, okay, I saw plenty of shows right now.
Is there something like being tired of listening to music, and after for example, you don't want to put on a record, you don't want to go to a show, nothing like that?
Sometimes, I guess, yeah, definitely. I need time. I need quiet time, and I don't really, so much music all the time that I just don't need to like. I don't, it's like my life is like geared around it, so I'm always seeing it. So I don't think I even think about seeking it out. Like if I see someone I want to see, or Lauren wants to see somebody, I will make it happen. Get tickets or whatever. But I don't really, like I just saw Florence play because I know them, like is my friend. And so, we saw them at the Hollywood Bowl the day I got home from tour, and it was just like, but it was amazing, and so fun. So like stuff like that's always happening. So I feel like I'm good with it. I just like when I'm not, I don't, it's just part of my life.
It's not the happiest of albums.
Does that upset you? Do you think people will be upset that it's not too happy?
No, because I think that sad music is better than happy music.
Oh, really?
Sad songs
I mean, I write a lot of sad songs. Lost on You was the saddest song of all time. I was there. I know. It's like when I like fly in on a fucking rainbow every time I come in here. Like woohoo, yeah. I mean, yeah, things are sad. Life is sad. Get a helmet. I don't know. I think that's just what came together. There is some, I think, is it not so, I think it's not so sad as some of it's like ominous. There's some ominous shit in here, right?
One might say so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's just got some, what I've been saying, and one of the things that, and this is not tea. It's not tea. It's, what is it? So good. Don't buy me any. If you're watching this, please don't buy me any, because
we will give you some.
No.
We will. No, don't worry.
Really
Don't worry.
What was I babbling about?
About the sad record and
sad records.
sad songs.
Oh, sad songs, sad records. But I had to think. I was saying that I've been saying that like this record reminds me of, a lot of these songs remind me of when you're dreaming. I have a lot of dreams like that where I wake up and I'm like, I remember some details at first, but then I totally forget them by like midday. But I still have that ominous kind of anxious, weird, like, put me in a strange mood, And I think that's like Dreamcatcher, the first song on the record, feels like it's the setup for that, Like there's about to, there's like witchy shit in the air,
But it's so annoying when you forget a dream, when you forget the
Yeah,
details
I
and
know.
you know only the.
I know, that's
let's
why
say,
people
the
do that
frame.
whole exercise where they keep a pen and pad by their bed,
People do it.
People do that, yeah, that's what they say to do. If you want to remember your dreams, keep a pen and a pad by your bed. But I always have to pee when I wake up, so then I forget. I'd be like,
And you go back to sleep.
yeah, exactly.
So no notes.
No notes.
Do you keep it secret sometimes what or who the songs are about?
guess
Do you
so.
tell the people that you meet in everyday's life, for example, this song is about you, or is it a secret?
If they ask, I kind of, I'll go, I mean, yeah, maybe.
Mm-hmm. It might be.
Possibly. But yeah, like like this, there's a song called Special
Mm-hmm.
on the record. That's about my friend who was killed like right around this time 2 years ago. And yeah, that song's for him. I felt like I don't, I can't force things. Like I can't force myself to write about anything, but this kind of just popped out and I knew it was him, and so that's, that had been bothering me for a while. He was such a good friend and a musician and an actor and all this stuff, and I just felt like I wanted to get a tattoo honoring him, but then I said, you know what, I'll write a song instead.
And it's about him.
Yeah. That's the last song on the record.
Some people say that only if you live a few years, if you have got experiences in life, sometimes rough experiences, you might write something that is wise. Because without all the experiences, you're just writing about fantasies.
I don't know. I think might be the case with some people. Like I feel like you can see through it, but there are many times when people, have very little life experience. I mean, it happens many times, right? Insanely poignant and insightful songs. So I don't know. I don't believe that theory, but I do think that it's nice to have experiences.
Mhm. Would you write a, let's say, dumb song?
Would I write a dumb song?
Yeah.
I've written a ton of dumb songs. Yes.
I don't know any of them, but
Well, I mean, I don't.
is it a crime to write a song that doesn't necessarily bring something like deep lyrics or so on, but it's just fun for people?
Yeah, I mean, I like songs like that. I wouldn't shy away from a song like that. I mean, I think, God, I'm trying to think of a dumb song. I don't want to insult anybody because they might not think that's.
So
a dumb
let's
song.
call it a
They'd be
guilty
like,
pleasure.
That's about my mom who passed away, and it's not dumb. I don't know. I don't. Let's think about what
Guilty pleasure, for example.
a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it's something similar.
Like a guilty pleasure. Like Justin Bieber's song "Baby" back in the day. I was like, yeah, and I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, stuff like that. You never know. It's sweet. I love the tone of his voice then. I like it now, but that song was so cute.
He threatens to retire.
Oh, but what about the retirement thing? What about that song back in the day, that bop diddy bop?
Hanson.
Yeah.
They are back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
But there was also a song by Crash Test Dummies in the 90s.
Oh yeah, with that guy's really low voice.
Yeah. That was it.
Like shit like that is great.
And what if you were to write a hit single? Someone told you, okay, this is your task for today, write a hit single.
Well, that's
Would you do it? Do
I
you
would
know
try.
the recipe?
This is the thing. I'm like, I'm trying to always write a hit single, and at the same time not trying. I'm not like, like I think like that's the kiss of death, I think, in writing. Like if someone in the room gets too like, oh my god, this is a hit while we're writing, so I'm like, shh, Jesus, of course we're trying to write it, but don't say it yet. Let's just write the song, because then I think that just gets in for me in your head. I think I'm just trying to get the the real just make it feel right in my heart, and write, I love catchy stuff, so I just try to make it catchy and use my intuition as a songwriter to write parts and that feel like they are worthy of repetition, that I want to sing again and again, that I want to hear again and again. That's just, but I don't know, like, like Lost on You again was like just this song that was not, I got dropped from my label for it. I told you guys this last time, and it wasn't like, it was very, I had no idea. Like, there were people that interviewed me that they're like, you must have known when you wrote it. I was like, no, I didn't. I mean, I knew it was good, but I didn't know it was going to be like a song that changed my life. I had no idea. But yeah. And when I was writing it, I felt very similar to a lot of songs I write. I just kind of get in it that day and just go for it. Like, I want it to be the best it can be, but I don't, and I think working with huge hit songwriters, other ones, that like people that I work with, I really have seen like the songs that they write that don't go anywhere, like there's like people that have written the biggest hits you've ever heard, and then they have hundreds of songs that no one's ever heard, because that's just how songwriting is. You're not just, I mean, some people, can churn them out, sure, I'm sure, but even they write songs that aren't, big. So I think, I don't think that in my head. I just kind of write, to write. It's art to me.
Mm-hmm. How has your life changed since Lost on You?
Well, just, I mean, the touring has been nonstop, I mean, and just like, I just got, I never feel like in a show, like people sing the lyrics to almost every song, it feels very like, they're like, the records and like me as in general. But, Lost on You introduced me to a lot of people that I never would have met, so that was, it's life-changing to connect with a bunch of new people, and very humbling and awesome, and I wasn't even like, I just didn't even have the timing of it was like, I just didn't have the, what do they call that? Oh my gosh, I'm spacing on the word, but I just didn't have the visibility before, and so it's just like that song kind of broke things through, It's nice.
After some time in the record business, in show business, does it still surprise you when a song becomes a hit, and for example, something that you think might be a hit single, a huge hit, doesn't?
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. I mean, it does surprise me. And it's not just for me. I've seen it dozens of times with other writers, other artists, that's what almost like, because I think when I first was like, people started coming around for me as an artist again, I was like, again, with the, they're like, yes, no, yes, no, like, it's very like, kind of like, the up, and every artist goes through that, and whether they can stomach it or not is like, the thing. But, I just always think, as a writer, I always said, you're one song away. And I think, I've said this many times before as well, that if you write a hit, everybody wants another hit. If you don't write a hit, everyone just wants a hit. So it's not like writing a hit lets you go like, I wrote a hit. I mean, maybe some people, it's nice at first, but, you just keep like trying to write songs and just also put out records, like I had all this stuff I wanted to put out, so I'm putting it out. We'll see if anyone likes it. I
think people will.
I hope so. I mean, that's like the thing. Like I feel, many times when I was on stage in the last 3 years or so in front of like very big crowds, I was sitting there like thinking, wow, I really have a responsibility to these people. I gotta like, write another record of good stuff, and then another one, and it's responsibility to myself as well. But, I take it pretty seriously, and it's just, I just can't not. It's like if I was on a desert island, I would be doing that. I would hope I'd have a guitar and a ukulele there so I could play.
And the computer.
I broke a string on the first hour of this desert island I'm going to be on for 15 years. Damn it. I just like travel. I always go on a boat with a bunch of strings and a guitar and a ukulele. You never know.
You never know.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
You wind up on an island.
Life is full of
Life is full of
surprises.
surprises.
But well, so it not only takes talent to remain in this business and to be still recording and playing, because well, you need to be stubborn, I guess. How many record deals have you had in your life?
Record deals?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So many. I mean, in the States, I've had like 7.
7.
Yeah. 4 majors and 3 indies. Yeah. And yeah. And it's been like, and all the major label ones were like a big deal, like the courting, and they're like, oh my God, that's gonna be so great. Ah, you know, it was like, you're amazing. You're the next, you know, and then it's just like, yeah, I just don't, and they'd be like, you have so many singles. I can't believe it. I can't even choose. And then it'd be like, you have nothing.
Okay.
We just don't hear anything. We don't hear, you know, like you wouldn't believe the things I've been told, you know, and I'm proud to say I'm not bitter. I just kind of like, I just know, and it's nice to know, you know, and I can really, you know, I feel like for my friends that are doing it, I feel like I'm the first person somebody calls when they get dropped from a record deal. I just like, bring, I'm so sorry, but it's great. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. Fuck those guys. You know, you're better without it.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
It might happen again.
Yeah, and I think that at the end of the day, your perspective is so great. And, you know, I think it gets to the point where, like, no one can hurt you anymore because you're just like, whatever, dude. You know?
Okay, you just have to go on, because many people, after being dropped for the first time, think that they have got no talent, no chances, and they start, let's call it, real jobs. They come back to their lives.
But then, you know, how about getting a hold of yourself and going like, somebody never got a record deal, you know, like ever, you know, that's like, this is hard. It's hard stuff, you know, and people are constantly, there's constant disappointments, you know. I think, you know, even the talent shows, you know, that they just had that one, and I think it teaches people that, you know, the disappointment, and they think someone's going to win, or the people that are in the talent show also experience that, and it's really hard. Like, I can never do one of those. Like, they asked me to do The Voice, like, back in the day, you know, and I was like, no, are you nuts? No way. It's so hard. I admire the people that do that, you know. I'd be like, listen, I don't need somebody turning around in a chair to tell me I can sing. Fuck you. But, yeah, I mean, you know, people that do it, that's brave stuff, you know. And I think it's these shows really show people how hard it is, you know. And at the same time, you know, it's like glorified in a way, you know. They want to do that, it's the drama, but I don't know, I think life is up and down, man.
Are there some things that you really laugh at when you think about your yes, I guess, when you think about your past, when you think about your dreams as a musician, about your career, or your thoughts about the business, and anything like that?
Things I laugh at?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I think I laugh at how fast things would go all the time, you know, and that it would be like, it would take just this one thing, you know, like, and then bam, you know, whereas, and I'm sure, I know that's some people's experience, but very few. That's the thing that's kind of hard, is that I think that that, you know, the 0.00001% of musicians and stuff, and pop stars and all that stuff, that does happen to, that fairy tale thing gets so ingrained in the public's mind that kids get involved in a career like that and just are like, that's what's going to happen to me. And then if it doesn't go down like that, they're just like, yeah, didn't happen. You know, so I think that's a bit premature, you know, and I think I think there's work involved. You know, I also say this all the time about painters. You know, I think a painter, you know, a person who becomes a famous painter doesn't sit and paint one painting and wait. It's great. Yeah, you should see it. Yeah, I'm a painter. Yeah, how many paintings you got? This one. It's great, right? You know, I mean, they don't do that. That's, to me, what songwriting is. It's just constant honing and you know, crafting I don't know, just trying to channel the emotion through the craft and whatever you can get it through to get some magic to happen. It's magic. There's an element of magic, I think, in songwriting, and I think a lot of very huge songwriters would say that. You know, I think Paul McCartney has said that basically in not so many words. You know, he's like, there's something about it that just like, you know, alchemy, and it happens. You know.
Luckily for you, with songs, it's not as complicated as with painters because many of them have to die before that they get appreciated.
Yeah.
So
still though, I don't think. I think it was just, you know, I think paint fumes were responsible for that back in the day. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't. I probably am not familiar enough with the art world at this point to know if there's modern day painters that pass away before, you know, and posthumously become famous.
Many of them need to pass away before people
many of them
recognize
for sure.
them, so.
Back in the day. You know, the whole Van Gogh thing.
So music is better in that terms. Yeah. Definitely better.
Well, I just recently read, because they're making a movie about Van Gogh.
Yeah.
And they were saying how Van Gogh's, I don't know, I think I read something about Van Gogh's brother, like, worked really hard for him. And that, you know, he was very ambitious, you know, like it was, I'll wait to see the movie. Let you see the movie as well. But, you know, it's interesting how the sacrifices that people make, you know. And I'm reading, there's this woman, Lucia Berlin, that I'm just starting to read, that also didn't live to see her fame. It's like 15 years later, and her writing started to become famous. And it's so interesting, you know, that that she could be writing, like that's timing. That's what this is all about, you know, like what happens to why did people not come across her work before? You know, it just seems strange to me. Like, it doesn't seem strange to me. I get it, but it's tragic and interesting, you know, that happens with people's work. And that's why I feel like, not that would happen to me, but I feel very blessed to like be, you know, and I've been doing it for, you know, for over 10 years. I've been making a cool living at music, so I can't, you know, and then this happened in the home stretch, and I just like, awesome, you know. And my perspective of it is so invaluable to me. Like, I feel really lucky also for that I just have the perspective to go, whoa, you know, it can happen, and it can't, and it doesn't happen. There's plenty of people, like, I feel like I'm living the like kind of the other, like, what if I, you know, like, because when I left New York and moved to California, I think that was a new beginning for me, you know. And if I hadn't done that, I don't, you know, things would be so different. And I always think about that. I'm like, because I was in a relationship in New York, and it wasn't bad. It, you know, it was just like kind of plateaued, and it wasn't like, you know, I think I just, I knew that if I didn't pursue my career even harder, that in like, you know, 10 years I would go like, oh man, I should have really gone for it, because, you know, I did all this stuff to get just to where I was, and then I kind of, I don't know, and just, I think about that often, and you know, the what ifs are really, really deep.